At the age of 14, I had no breast growth or any development of secondary sexual characteristics as a young girl. Let's not talk about the messes because I was not even saying that. Because most times our school invites some healthcare practitioners to come around and we have free sanitary pad at the end of the day. But trust me, that sanitary pad was given to my closest friend every time they come. And sometimes I keep asking myself questions. Mercy, are you okay? Are you sure you are not a man? Are you sure you are not a man in human form? All your friends are using bras, they're talking about their bra size. All your friends are using sanitary pad, they're talking about their sanitary pads, which one they prefer, always, this and that. They're talking about their preference. But what do I have to say? Nothing. I am just a lady with no breast, with no messes. And I got worried. Anyway, if you are a young lady and this is your story, or you are a mom, your daughter is having this thing that I was having then, sit with me. Come, let's sit together. Let's discuss. Let's just talk about delayed puberty. Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Nurses Lecture Room YouTube channel. My name is Mercy Mary, popularly known as a nurse with a difference, and I make learning easy and accessible for all my viewers. Today, we are going to be talking about delayed puberty. But before we go into delayed puberty, what is puberty itself? Puberty is the process of physical maturation when an adolescent reaches sexual maturity and is capable of reproduction. So as an adolescent, when you are capable of reproduction, when you have reached sexual maturity, then we say puberty has taken place. So the next question you may want to ask is, all this puberty we keep hearing, what actually triggers it? Puberty is usually triggered by the brain. Yes, the brain triggers it. A lot of hormone comes into play. For the male, there is an increased release of testosterone. And we all know that the testosterone is the male main hormone. So this increase in the testosterone leads to the production of sperm. And also other physical and emotional changes takes place. And some of these physical and emotional changes that takes place in the male include penis size. There's an increase in their penis size. There's a deepening of their voice. The voice becomes deeper, you understand? And the boys, they start growing beards. I remember when you are a guy and you start growing beards, you start touching it like, I'm not a big boy, I've attained that puberty stage. There's also ejaculation at night, which is known as wet dreams. Growing up, most male child are made to believe that when they start having wet dreams, they are actually having sex in the dream, and it's really a bad omen. But that just signifies that you've gotten to your puberty stage. So these are the signs you can see in the guys. Then for the female, the signs of puberty you can see in them include the obvious one, which is the growth of the breast. The second one is the development of private part hair, pubic hairs under the armpit. They start developing hairs. Then the other one, which is very common, is menarche, which is the beginning of messes. They start seeing their messes. So these are the signs you see in male and female. This is how teens are supposed to be. This is the order of things. But when it doesn't happen at this age, when these things doesn't show up at a particular age I told you about, then delayed puberty is said to have taken place. We say this particular lady is experiencing delayed puberty. This particular man is experiencing, or this particular boy, or this particular male child is experiencing puberty, not a man. Okay, so then that takes us to the causes. What is actually the cause of delayed puberty? Delayed puberty most often has no known cause, but in some cases, it might run in the family. So if you have an elder sibling or your parent had delayed puberty, that might just put you at risk of having delayed puberty. All you just need to do is to relax and wait for it to pop up. But in some cases, it might be as a result of some chromosomal abnormality. It might be as a result of genetic disorder. It might also be as a result of chronic illnesses Do you have chronic diseases? Do you have chronic disease? Are you suffering from a particular disease that might affect the production of hormones that might cause delayed puberty? And also, is there a tumor of the pituitary gland? Is there a tumor of the hypothalamus? Because the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland all have a role to play when it comes to puberty. If something is wrong with the pituitary gland, if you're having a tumor of the pituitary gland, there's an underreactive pituitary gland that can result in delayed puberty. If there's something wrong with the hypothalamus, delayed puberty can happen. And if you are a lady and you are having chronic, you're not eating properly, it's chronic, you're like the way you are starving yourself is chronic, that can actually affect the hormones, that can actually affect the whole body from getting to puberty stage. So as a model, if your child is having delayed puberty, there is no breast development at the age of 15. There is no menarche at the age of 15. For the boys, the testicles are not developing. There's no increase in size. There's no development of beards. There are no physical characteristics. I think you should take your child to see a doctor to clear all doubts. Sometimes we think delayed puberty is something minor, it's not something of concern, but it can actually reduce a child's self-esteem. It can actually make a child doubt his or herself. So it is very important you speak to a specialist. It's very important for you to speak to your healthcare provider when your child or you as a young girl or a young boy is having delayed puberty, because it can actually affect the self-esteem of a child. It can lead to depression, knowing fully well that, oh, your peers have all gotten their have all gotten to the stage of puberty, but you are not there yet. You may feel bad and start doubting your existence. So, but what I have to tell you is that you don't have to worry. It has a solution. Sometimes it's not something that as a result of some chronic illnesses. It's just time. You just have to give your body time for it to pop up. Mine took time. I can't remember. I think I started 16 or so. All right. So everybody varies. So I want you to calm down a bit. Take a nice deep breath and think of a solution rather than worrying about it, rather than like feeling bad about it. It happens to a lot of people. It happened to me. Okay. But now let's talk about the treatment for delayed puberty. Now, you know, there are different causes. It could be just the fact that it runs in the family, but later you start seeing your measures. Okay. It could be as a result of the pituitary gland. It could be as a result of the hypothalamus. It could be as a result of the thyroid gland. So what I advise you to do is to see the doctor, because the treatment they are going to give you depends on what is actually causing it. So if it's family history, it doesn't need a treatment. But if it's as a result of the pituitary gland, the thyroid gland, or the hypothalamus, definitely the doctors are going to look for the best treatment to give you to help sort that situation. What I want to let you know is that delayed puberty is not uncommon. A lot of people experience it. I also experience it. But what I also want to let you know is that with the right guidance, with the right support, you are able to thrive. So parents, don't just overlook it and tell your child, oh, it's going to come up, don't worry. No, it's important for you to guide them through. It is important for you to support them during this phase while they are waiting for their measures. While some people have delayed puberty, others have early puberty. And these days, early puberty is very common. You see a child start seeing their measures at the age of 7, at the age of 8. It happens these days. So while we are talking about delayed puberty, there's also something called early puberty. All right. So this is what I have to share with you today. And I hope you got value for this video. If you got value for this video, what I would advise you to do is to also share on your status, share on your platform, so that people tend to benefit, so that people tend to be informed and not get worried. With a good support, with good guidance, we are able to scale through most of the challenges in our lives. So thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and also don't forget to share with a friend if you got value. For all my returning subscribers, this is Nurse Mercy Mary saying thank you. Bye and see you in our next video.